What is art, you may ask? Well, art is just another form of self-expression. It's another way to get across an idea or a message. And this message can be very powerful. And also you may ask, how does this affect Africa? There's a lot of controversy going on in Africa, as we know. There are civil wars widespread everywhere. People being murdered, killed. Their families being taken away. There are kids at the age of 7 and 8 being captured and used as rebels and soldiers. And all this controversy can affect the population and all the people of Africa in a very major way, in a very emotional way even. And art is how they get these emotions out, how they express themselves, how they express their emotions. And one who demonstrates this very well goes by the name of K'naan. K'naan was born in a very artistic family in 1978, his aunt being a very famous singer there in Somalia. He describes his early years as singing in color. These colors he's talking about is really the emotions he was feeling, the joy and the happiness that he had with playing with his friends and playing with his cousins and other family members of his. But unfortunately, these bright colors soon started to fade away to black and white. These colors were faded by the civil war that was going on in Somalia at the time. Anarchy was spread throughout Somalia, making it into a country of despair. Thankfully, K'naan got out of the country in time, even though he had to leave behind his cousin and his uncle and his aunt. His uncle soon later died, unfortunately, and so did his aunt many years later. But he left on the last commercial flight to his grandpa's house in New York City. And ironically, K'naan in his language means the traveler. But anyways, at his grandpa gave him hip-hop records, in which he listened to and he happened to like. It gave him the sense of these bright colors again that he got from early in his life. He started to feel happy again. He started to feel joy from listening to these records. So that's when he realized he wanted to do hip-hop. He wanted to be a poet or a rapper. And so that's what he did. In the 10th grade, he dropped out of school so he could listen to these hip-hop records more closely and learn English through this. He taught himself English by listening to the hip-hop records and trying to put the phrases together to make sense of it. When he successfully did, at the age of about 19 to 20, he started to have open mic sessions near pubs. And he would sing or he would rap to the public about mostly really his experiences about Somalia, and when he was in Somalia, both about the bright colors he saw and the faded colors he saw. But then he soon made an album called The Dusty Foot Philosopher, which is mostly his experiences in Somalia that inspired all of the songs, actually. But there was an even bigger reason behind why K'naan wrote these songs. You see, K'naan was diagnosed with PTSD when he was about 17 or 18. And his mom didn't believe in Western medicine, so he had to find a way to treat or to cope with his PTSD. And this was his way of dealing with it. This was his way of expressing himself, so he would feel better, so he could see the colors again. But that wasn't it. K'naan also didn't want anybody to see the black and white that he had to see. This black and white being fear, anxiety, and everything that came with PTSD. He wanted everybody to see the colors. He wanted everybody to be happy. And it's this selflessness that drives his art, that drives his passion, that got him out of this hole that he was in Somalia and got him to the place that he is now. Another very good example of this selflessness being shown is by one named Kelvin Doe. Kelvin Doe uses his innovation skills to help others. Kelvin is from Sierra Leone, and his family is very poor, so he does not have the technology and all the things available to him to make his radio show possible. So what he did is he went into the local scrapyard and he found scrap pieces, and he taught himself how to make these things into batteries, generators, and other devices needed to make a radio show. And in his radio show, he goes by the name of DJ Focus. And he displays all the other arts of people from Sierra Leone, and he uses his innovative skills to help his community. And what he will do is he will fix things, people in his community. And he will do this free of charge, no money. He just likes to see people smile. He likes to put a smile on people's face. In both of these stories, the art and the innovation allowed for the message to be given across to another person, to another population even. And the art and the innovation is really the base, and it molds the culture for Africa, the culture for Sierra Leone and Somalia in this case. But more importantly, it allowed for people to be happy. The art allows for people to be happy. It allows people to see the world in color.